this computer. There you go.
So what I thought, just because you're already on, if we can get you, if we finish here in the next 20 minutes, then you can hop off the Zoom call before even anybody else gets on, and then you can be finished if you want to do that.
Okay. Okay.
Time. So I think probably the hardest, or maybe not the hardest part is what we'll do next, which is this thread. Okay.
That part. Mm-hmm.
It's really not hard. But I think in the stitch guide, it even says to do this before you do the background. You don't have to, but the reason I did it before the background is I did not want it sitting on top of the background and have the chance of it getting caught on something.
Good point.
I wanted it to sit closer to the canvas.
Okay.
So, once you finish the writing, that's what comes next is the thread. So if you get out your piece of memory thread, which they don't sell anymore. So
Oh, really?
they do not, this is a discontinued thread. So kind of cool that we're using it. You should have plenty of it. I think yours might be a light blue.
I know it's in here because I saw it. There it is. Yeah, it's a light blue.
Yours is a light blue. So all you do is when you take that out, is you can see that it attaches underneath the O. Okay, and you don't need a needle for that. You don't thread the needle, but I did use a needle. What you do is you make the little canvas hole where that goes in, just make the hole just a little bit bigger. Come on in.
Is this a solo?
No. There was a little confusion as to what time it started, so just come on in.
It was 3:30, but then I saw you.
It was a little bit of both, so.
Okay.
I'm going to go do this again, so don't worry about it. So you make that little canvas hole just a little bit bigger than it is. You can either put the eye of the needle through that little canvas hole.
Okay.
Or if you have something else at home that might just be just slightly bigger than the canvas hole.
Okay.
And then you just push the end of the memory thread. That's good.
So excited. I love that blue. So what, are we talking about the end of the O, the bottom of the O?
Yep. And you don't have to do this now. I just kind of wanted to talk you through how to do it. And then you leave like a tail. You leave a tail on the back. You can tie a knot on the back. You should have plenty of length, if that makes sense.
I gotta get it through the hole. It's not going through.
Take your time. Actually, you can take this one because it has the couching thread.
I'll give you the other one back.
Thanks. I was saying that this is a discontinued thread,
Oh, I'm
which
so
is,
glad we got it.
I know, and it's so disappointing because it has some great uses.
Yeah,
So
it
it's kind of,
stands out.
I saw it on some pieces around the corner that this lady did some cool things with. So it's kind of a shame that they're not making it anymore.
Yeah.
How about you? How about,
I've done nothing. I've had
okay.
women here since last week.
Did you hear that? So
Then
you
that's-
are, you're not,
Well, I'm
some people
thinking-
haven't even started. So there you
I'm
go.
thinking that I really need to go back and do these over because
No,
the
you
holes
don't.
aren't right.
Listen,
And then I kept thinking, well, I wonder if I did these first, if they'd be easier to
Let's
see. But I think I can,
oh, it looks fabulous.
Yeah, they're all off. I mean, a lot of them are off.
No, they're not.
There should be
Okay.
two holes between each one.
Okay. So you know what you do? Just go, yeah, you just go over them. You're just missing a couple, but
Right.
you don't have to redo them. Just stitch over them. I can help you with that. But I don't think you need to tear them out. You can
Okay.
stitch right over it and you'll never know.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Not worth it to stitch. Yeah.
Gosh.
It looks great though. We were talking about the way it twists and stuff, and
Mhm.
it's meant to look like that.
Oh, I like the
good.
look. Yeah,
Good.
I think it's fun, and I love the colors. I do.
Excellent.
I am.
Yep,
On there.
So did you get it?
Uh-huh.
Okay, good. So show me what you got.
Almost finished.
Starting to twist it.
Okay, bring it over so I can see it just a little bit more. Nope, a little bit this way. Okay, good, good. So now what you do is you kind of follow follow it along the canvas
Okay.
until you get right here. So can you see mine? Okay, so I followed it, just kind of it doesn't have to be exact. You just kind of lay it down. You're going to go over this part of the needle and you're going to go back to the back of the canvas in between the needle.
Okay.
Okay, so you'll make the hole a little bit bigger right there, just like you did.
Okay.
Tell me when you get that.
You sent Mary Patty. Well, Saturday or Sunday?
Yes, it was super busy.
Well, I could tell. I mean,
Yeah.
I goes here early and
Yep.
it's already busy.
Yep,
It's great.
your hair looks fabulous. Did I just say that to you?
No,
It looks so good.
Oh God, I went to great clips this morning. I can't find any place to cut my hair. Any place. I went to great clips.
It looks so good.
$17. Well, I don't have any hair.
It looks
I'm going to
great.
show you some things I'm working on. I don't want Michelle to see these. Michelle.
So you went over the first part of the needle, correct?
Oh, what I did was I went over it's like the bottom of the needle.
Okay.
And then I went through the needle, like down through the back.
At the bottom of the other part of the needle, right? Okay.
This is the hardest part. And
I heard you did well Sunday.
I know.
What was
How was that?
yesterday? Was it-
Yes.
It was, had a lot less people, but it was.
But people sent more. That's good.
It was good to do, thank you.
I did well. I didn't even need that thing. I just loved it.
Where's the dog?
It's a big, it's the color of a flamingo. It's a big bird. that was
Oh, I love
big.
that one.
Oh, was it the egret or the flamingo?
It's the flamingo, I
It's
think.
a flamingo.
From Susan Roberts?
Oh, which one's that?
It was like
It's a big canvas and it's a
turquoise
flamingo.
background and kind of peachy.
Is there a whole bunch of flamingos on it?
No, it's just
Big,
one.
and it's,
Oh, okay.
By Susan Roberts.
Okay, I've got the one that has a whole bunch of
bunch of
flamingos on it.
them?
no.
I'm gonna be stitching like crazy. Okay, so
All right,
you're
how's that
down
going?
through,
Okay, let me see what you got.
I've just moved into this.
Scooter.
New apartment.
Okay, perfect. Now come back up.
We live at Water Walk.
Now you're gonna
It's-
come
it's
back
next to
up
Kroger, but we were in a-
okay,
at the, right at the top of the needle.
Back.
You're gonna
Okay.
make the little canvas hole. You're just gonna keep following.
It's really pretty.
So you come back up right here. Can you see that?
uh-huh,
You've gone through the needle and now you're gonna come back up to the front of the
Okay.
canvas at the top.
okay.
get into doing this, it's easier to see the patterns.
It is.
Yeah, just.
Yep.
I do have it since I'm gonna show you. I don't care if she's. I told
you know
her
what?
she should order 'em. I saw your beautiful thing. I mean, the way you finished your bird that we did with Beth.
Oh, the heron. Mhm.
Aaron, absolutely gorgeous.
Oh,
I mean,
good.
So I assume you have a beautiful house. So.
Oh, I leave it here all the time.
but you
I don't
should-
even.
it's gorgeous.
Thank you.
These go.
Oh,
these
so cute.
They go on the most beautiful boxes you've ever seen. They're gold on the bottom, black or gold or black and red. And they have a dragonfly that latches through it. And these are on the top. They're so pretty. There's so many different
So
patterns.
cute.
Well, I haven't finished. There's a couple stitches, but I didn't bring the turquoise thread down here with me. I have to wait till I get home. But I love
Beautiful.
these.
So are we gonna finish these for you?
No.
You
You know
finished?
what? The whole price for finishing is $35.
Nice.
And they put them in the, no, I'm gonna have them done in Kansas City, but that's where I bought
Gorgeous.
them.
Love them.
I think they're really pretty. I think
They're
you could
beautiful.
sell 'em here. I mean, they're, if you have a fancy house at all, or if you
These
just
are-
want something pretty in your living room on the coffee table,
They're
they're
beautiful.
really pretty. Thank you.
Beautiful. Love them.
Really cute.
Love them. All right. How's it going?
Good, I'm almost at the end.
Oh, good. See the way it kind of like twisted around on itself?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good.
Okay, it's not laying real.
That's fine. That's fine. And then did you push it back through the canvas at the end?
No, I have to do that now.
Yep. Then just push it back through the canvas at the end.
My friends went nuts over your pillow.
Oh,
It's the finishing.
That
It's the
finisher,
ribbons.
I know
it's
that
the-
finisher,
Oh,
it does
well, I
such,
assume you picked it all out. but
no, the finisher does all that. I did finisher's choice.
You're kidding.
That finisher
I
is,
figured you had picked out all that beautiful
Mm-mm.
ribbon and.
nope, I said finisher's choice, make it fun. And
It's
I think I may have
fabulous.
said coastal. I know I let them do it. I kind of wanted a surprise.
Well, I think it's pretty fabulous.
Yeah, they do a really good job.
Are these the people in California?
No, they're in Houston.
Mm,
It's called Spinning Wheel.
ew.
Yeah, they've been around for a while. They do fabulous work.
That's exciting, isn't it? To
Yes.
see something that's
Yeah, I love to send things out and then they come back and it's a
surprise.
surprise.
Oh, I know. I love that too.
Isn't it fun? I
I've
did
got, that's been sitting out for almost a year. I'm dying.
that we sent out? Did we send it out?
No.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Another place.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Very, very long time. In fact, I asked them to check on it because it was this huge canvas of 300 and I think it's 360 1-inch squares
Oh my,
of every thread in this one grouping. It's going to be made into a tote bag, and I'm dying.
gosh, a year ago? Yeah, that seems a little excessive.
Mhm.
I know. I
Yeah.
guess he's like a one-man operation. He
Yeah,
does
I mean,
absolutely beautiful
and
work.
then it's worth the wait. Then it's worth the wait.
I know, but it's like I want to
I
use it before I
know.
die.
I know. Well, gosh, you got plenty of time.
I hope so. Okay, I'm
Right,
through the
let's
back.
see. Let me see what you got. Scoot it over. Perfect. So perfect. So now you got it through the back. Then what you do is, so in that same bag, I sent you some thread, some real
Great.
thin thread. You don't have to do it now. You can do it now, whatever you want to do. all you're going to do is start couching it down. You're going to thread your needle. You might want to get a little smaller needle. And then every 3 or 4 canvas threads, you're just going to lay over that thread. You're going to go right over it and through the back, and you are going to couch that thing down.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
And
Mhm.
nice and tight. And what you might want to do, I think I may have said that I waited to tie it down until the background was done, but I think I slid it in underneath. I finished the thread up in the letters. And then, I mean, I started it up in the letters and then finished it. I think when I was done, I slid that thread like into the needle. You're not going to see it underneath the background, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
But you're just going to, every few canvas holes, you're just going to couch that thread right down.
Okay.
And you'll be able to manipulate that thread so that it covers that marking on the canvas, and you won't be able to see that over it.
Okay.
You've just tackled the hardest part of the entire course.
That's pretty neat looking. I like it.
that far along.
It's a shame that they got rid of it because I could
I
see where that
know.
would have a lot of uses.
It does. It really does. So I grabbed every gray, blue, and pink memory thread that I could find. Luckily, Michelle had a few. So I think what I'm going to do, if it's all right with you, I'm going to hold up for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to see what comes. I'm not going to go over that first. I'm going to kind of backtrack, and we're going to talk about other things. And then when I talk about the thread, then if you want to sign off, you go ahead, and then I'll talk about the thread with everybody else. Does that sound okay?
That sounds fine. I may stay on just
No,
to be
and
here.
feel free. I just don't want, if you want to stay on, great. If
Right.
not, trying to think of any other things that I
The
can.
only other question I had is with the blue glasses,
Yeah.
that part that's missing.
Yes. If I were you, I would just take basically it's a straight line that just goes straight across.
Oh, okay. I see. So that's
Really,
the back.
Yep, and it's the
see.
back. So I would,
Okay.
and it's the same thread that you used for the needle minder. It's the
Okay.
same thread that I used back here.
Okay.
And it's just a simple straight line. Hi.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
Okay. Yep.
Hi. It was such a pleasure to meet your husband yesterday. What a charming man. I could have sat and chatted with him for a very long time. He was
remember everything that happened years ago.
Oh,
But he can't remember anything that happened today.
well, that's part of aging, and
Yeah, but I know he enjoyed that.
well, it
I
was
wrote a little note to Michelle and he said, you can include me on the note. And I said, "Oh, I will, honey."
well, I told my husband, I said,
I need to come to see you with a-
Matt,
No, she's gotta-
so many husbands came and sat outside.
Well, isn't that nice?
I said, how
yeah,
come you
where were
didn't
you?
come and sit outside?
Well, like Michelle even let us have a beer.
A beer in here.
So
That's
was-
nice.
That was a treat.
That was a
Yeah.
treat.
Good.
Yeah, I really appreciated that because it made it a little easier for him.
That's good.
Sure.
Well, he was very charming.
Well, thank you. He is, he can be.
I can only imagine him and his, I bet he charmed the socks right off of you.
Well, we dated in college
Did you?
and then we went separate ways.
Wow.
Because we were just sophomores and I think he was ready to settle down.
Yeah.
And heck no, I
Yeah,
was
right. You
still
had things to
Well,
do.
having fun.
So we just reconnected. I was good. Oh, you're welcome. Well, we appreciate you a lot. Good. That this far.
Ooh, oh, look.
Oh, my gosh.
Very good. Look,
Oh, yeah, look at the back, though.
Oh,
your back
wow.
is better than mine.
Yeah, but where that magnet
That's
is.
great.
Okay, this, I haven't seen it in silver, obviously,
Like
because
it.
I've done mine, I did mine in pink. The silver glass, because all you guys are blue.
Mhm.
These
Those are
silver
Well, I could
are
tell-
fabulous.
Oh, good.
I agree.
Well, I've got to see where you did yours, and then that Susan. Yeah, up in New York, Susan Cohen.
Yes,
Okay, she and I've been sending her photos.
okay.
So I told her I'd take a photo, a close-up of yours today.
Look at the way the white offsets the gray. It looks
Oh,
so good.
wow.
I think you
Oh,
guys are gonna be so happy with the gray. I mean, this looks so good. I love seeing the different colorways.
Good.
Fabulous.
You've done a beautiful job. I love this. Really nice.
I've done a lot of ripping out. I've
Ugh,
done a lot of twisting
yeah.
and holding down but I've enjoyed doing
Oh,
it.
and you've got the white in there too. That is.
Yeah, it
really
looks so good.
pretty.
It really has a
Mhm.
like a padded
Mm,
bamboo.
it
I
does.
it
I
looks
like
so
that.
good. So good.
Which is kind of appropriate, because I've been doing this, you mentioned bamboo, I've been having to listen to audiobooks.
Yep.
For an award program, and this one happens to be set in Asia.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I
Wow.
feel like I'm right there with them. Okay.
So we'll just wait a couple minutes. We got started at 3, just
Oh.
because there were some questions as to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I
no, no,
really
no, no,
tried
no,
to
no,
make
no,
it-
no, no. I started at 3 and then we're going to start again at 3:30,
Okay.
just because I
Mhm.
created the
You did.
question as to.
Okay. Well, we ran errands this morning and all kinds of little things, and we got home about 2, and the elevator's broken.
Oh, no.
No,
We
no.
were staying, so I called the front desk and said, we need help. I didn't know if I could get Rick
Up.
up 3 flights of stairs, forget with
Well, yeah.
bags and all that, so. They came, they were nice.
Good.
I got my exercise in today. Okay. It's really just fun.
It's what?
It's really fun to do.
The stand is amazing.
Oh,
It really,
Yeah.
I am so used to this now. You really should just.
I need to get
one.
one. I did,
You
yeah.
got this part.
Yep, I do have that part. All I need is the,
Yeah,
the floor part. It's really nice.
Yeah, I think we'd be very happy with it. All right, now I'm coming to look a little bit more closely at
Here.
where,
Here, I'll just, here.
okay. Oh, okay. So it's just straight across and then the X.
There's like a tiny little X. And I'll be honest with you, with your silver, I don't even know if you need it. You could put it in.
I think this makes it look more like.
It does have a, yeah. Mhm.
What did you put in?
If there's a little,
Oh, this.
that little
thing right
cross
there.
across,
Uh-huh.
and then there's like a little X. We're talking about on the
Oh, it's-
scissors.
That's what real scissors look like.
Yes.
It is.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Cool.
Oh, I don't know why.
You didn't, you could have just.
I'll just do it all.
Have you guys seen these things? I bought these for the airplane. They're at the Needlepoint store in Kansas City, but they've got the thing to catch your
Oh,
thread.
those are the best.
It's got the thing to,
Uh-huh.
and it's got a thing to put your glasses in. Just kind of hang there and you don't have anything out on the airplane. But now I'm
Best.
doing it in here.
Yes, yes.
It is handy.
You can. Yeah,
Yeah, I noticed it. When did
Yeah.
they change this
today.
today? Oh, that's nice.
We wanted to make it through the
Yeah.
open house.
I don't blame you, thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, agree. I know, I still have my ball.
Hey, whatever
But-
works,
But the one you did is the lighter color. and
What-
I can't wait to use it.
whatever works,
Yeah.
you guys.
I went ahead and did that also, but I do cut mine in half, and that's just because I was taught years ago.
Yeah, whatever,
You know,
hey,
you can only keep it so
Yep.
long as it wears.
Yep,
thin and
yep.
like that. But I
So-
liked it because then I take the one strand and
Yep.
double it at the top and then.
and then they're, yeah.
loop.
Well, that's nice. Yeah.
So it's 3:30, so I guess it's just gonna be
Us.
the three of us. So I think what we'll do is we're gonna skip the thread. We're gonna go to the eyeglasses. Okay, so we talked a little bit about the eyeglasses. I think we talked, everybody who has the black or blue,
Mhm.
you just
Doesn't have
need
the
to
line.
do that line across. And
Right.
you don't have to, if you are fine with the way it is.
Okay.
This looks a little more realistic.
It does. And I do think that was just a mistake. And I think it's in the stitch guide that the thread for the back is the same thread as the needle
Okay.
minder.
Oh, the
Um,
Y?
Yeah, yep. And don't worry about using a laying tool. It doesn't matter. It is gonna give it, there is gonna be a little shine to it. That's what I wanted. I wanted it to look a little different than the frames of the glasses.
All right, so
Okay.
the frames of the
The
glasses.
frames of the glasses are gonna be the variegated blue that you have in your, and you
Oh.
have two skeins of it, okay?
The variegated-
Yep, and then the back of the, I don't even know what you call those,
The bows.
yes, is the shiny
Or the front.
fry works, okay?
Oh, good.
And as I said, don't worry about laying tools, don't worry about trying to get any kinks out. The reason I picked a variegated is because I kind of wanted it to look like a tortoise shell. And I had originally picked a brown tortoise shell. It was just so dark, it just took away from the whole canvas. So pink it is and blue it is for you guys. So the only embellishment I did add was, and it is on the canvas, is in the corners, there's a little cross stitch in each corner. And that
Yeah.
should be in the stitch guide. And you're going to use the same sparkly thread that you use for your needle and your scissors for that. And that should
Okay.
be, once again, my stitch guide, it does not have pages. That would have helped. So there's some constructive criticism for, hey, come on in. Do you want to sit right here? Come on.
Yeah. So you did that with your gold.
Yep, I did that with my gold. If you've got the blue canvas, you're going to do it with the silver. We're talking about the glasses. Yep.
Okay.
I love it when I can see you guys without your masks. Everybody looks so different.
I know, the sign is still on the door, but I didn't.
Yep.
My goodness, you've gotten so much done.
Everybody looks fabulous. So what we're doing is I'm going to go back. We'll do the thread at the end.
Uh-huh.
We talked about the scissors. We're talking about
Lay
the,
down.
yours is fine. So, this back part is going to be the same thread that you use up here for the needle minder. Don't worry about a laying tool. It doesn't have to lay flat.
Okay.
The frames itself is the variegated pink that you have. And you just kind of have to estimate where this nose frame is. You just kind of have to estimate that's
We'll just take our glasses.
yeah,
off.
and that's
Yeah.
kind of what you
Yeah,
have to
look at
do.
it.
That may have been the hardest part of the entire canvas for me, was in this area right here. And I think as you look at it, we probably focus too much on it, because I was like, oh, that side has a little bit too much, that side's not.
Oh,
Don't focus too much on it. Just estimate where the nose
So this
piece.
is a variegated thing. So I don't have to do two shades.
No, it's a variegated pink and it kind of comes up in here. And see this brown part
Yeah.
here is gonna be your fry works. So you just kind of, so this is all pink. So if you guys want to take a close up of it before you leave, is there
I think I did.
you do, well, and there is in the stitch guide, there is a close up of it as well. So that's the eyeglasses. Once again, a stitch.
This is the variegated.
Yes, that's your
I was
variegated.
afraid it was so caught in a cushion.
So that's the variegated for the
Okay,
eyeglasses.
the 10 stitch,
10 stitch.
I don't know the 10 stitch, but
So
it's
it's a,
continental, but I always do it this way.
you can do it however you
Okay,
want. It
I've
doesn't
never seen
matter.
the cross.
It doesn't, it's the same
It's the
thing.
same thing,
Mhm.
okay,
Yep.
okay. Got it.
Okay, the background.
Mhm.
I did the background last and we're just kind of skipping around here,
Mhm.
just.
Did
No,
you say
start at 3:30. But what I did was, I talked about the thread at 3:00
Oh,
for those who signed on at 3, and then we'll go back and we'll do that.
Okay. 'cause I
So
thought-
nope, nobody's late. Nobody's, so the most important thing about the background, and not the most important thing, because it doesn't really matter, nobody's gonna see it, is the direction. In the stitch guide, you'll see that this,
Oh, I see. That's
So,
the difference, yeah.
yes, you'll
Yeah.
see
Uh-huh. Going across and then
going,
coming back.
and then when you come back, and it doesn't matter,
But it's gonna show differently than if you're just doing
it
these all the
shows,
same.
the only I don't know if you can see this through the computer on the back. You can see how it lays differently on the back. I made the mistake lots myself because I thought, well, it doesn't really matter which direction you're going.
Mhm.
But it does.
It does, because from the front, you can kind of see through it.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
can see
yeah.
through it more from the front if it's not going the proper direction. Once it's finished, it's going to be fine. And I thought about tearing it out and I said,
No.
hell no.
Oh, right.
So my only thing, I didn't realize why it was looking different until I really looked at the direction of the stitch and really made note of when you are stitching, when the direction of the stitch is angled to the right,
Uh-huh.
you're actually moving to the left.
Right.
And when the direction of the stitch is to the left, you're moving to the right. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Mhm.
And
This is one I haven't wanted to try. so this is good.
It's not bad. It's not bad at all. And if you make a mistake, it's really not that big of a deal. And you can look at the back of mine and you'll be able to see where I did it properly, where I figured out my mistake
Yeah.
and where I did it wrong. And in certain lights, you can see here, I did it incorrectly.
Yeah, but I
But-
bet you can't see that at all when it's finished.
When it's
Yeah,
finished,
you won't see it.
Oh,
you
yeah.
won't see it.
Yeah.
So it's okay if you make
Uh-huh.
a mistake. That was the only thing I wanted to point out about that stitch.
Is this?
That's that. You'll need 6 of those, and it's the silk lame. It's pink. If you have the yellow, and it's like a light periwinkle blue. If you're doing the blue, that's Michelle's phone. Sorry. It's all right.
And it's a single thread, does it say? on here?
Single thread,
Okay.
unless, yes, single thread.
And so, which one of these is the glasses?
The glasses, is this variegated pink. I only used one. I didn't need to, but I put 2 in here in case you make mistakes and you had to rip out.
Yep.
As I explained,
Good
I
thing.
ripped this thing out a half a dozen times. Play around with how many strands you need. I used 5 strands because I wanted to make sure that brown was covered underneath.
Okay.
If you have the blue,
You
You're,
might want to use 5 too.
you probably want to use 5 too. If you want to try 6, try 6. Play around with it and see. That's totally up to you. I think I did, let's see what I put in. I think I put in 5, and that it is 6 strands. So that's another one where if you cut it the same length, then you just pull out one strand.
Cool.
And do you mind if I take this apart?
No, go ahead.
So I want to show you how, so the glasses don't become too stripy. I'll tell you how I did this. So it's one long piece.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so what I did was I cut a piece to my elbow,
There you go.
okay?
I have to go a little
Yep.
past mine.
So say your elbow, and then I cut it. And then I did it the same thing, the entire length. Okay, so now I have all my lengths are the same.
Yeah.
And then I started pulling pieces apart, okay? So that you're not
Pulling the same color out. every
You're
time.
not pulling the same color every time. I wanted this to have a natural variegation, not too stripy looking. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So you're mixing, because you'll see on the blue and the pink, some of it is very light and some of it is very dark. So you want to get a mix.
Sure.
So you're going to mix some pieces from your first strand, some pieces from your last strand, so it has a nice mix. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Okay. Any questions?
Now here
No,
it
I
says
like
using
that.
6 strands, but you think 5 strands.
Try 5. If you don't like the way it covers, use 6.
Okay.
I use 6, and I'll tell you why. Because I had ripped out so many times. Canvas was a little stretched out.
Yeah.
That I just needed 6. If you feel like 5 covers it, use 5. If not,
Okay.
6. And so let's talk now, before we go back and talk about thread, in case you want to jump off Zoom, I completely understand. I want to talk about finishing. Okay. You do not need to do 2 extra rows around this. Okay. Once it's done,
Yes.
it's done. Did you just sneeze? Oh, yay. I thought you sneezed.
No, I said yes.
I know, which is great news. So when we finish this, all we're going to do is pick out, it can be 1 color, it can be 2 colors. We're going to send some pearl cotton in with it. It doesn't have to, we could pick 1 color, 2 color, 3 colors, and we'll send it in with the tote bag to finish it. Okay.
I mean, that will
It'll be
maybe
like binding or like cording.
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 That's how we'll
Okay.
cord it. So it could either be 2 shades of gray, the 2 shades of gray. It could be 1 shade of gray. It could be whatever you want it to be. I may only do yellow. I don't know yet. But so that's all the finisher needs. I just wanted to make sure we knew that do not do 2 extra rows. Let me see what else I wrote down that I wanted to make sure that we knew. I think I know about everybody's bags. If you're unsure about your bags, make sure I think I had,
mine.
I have all of yours here, so we're good. And how about questions of anything we went over today or last week? Anything not make sense?
Yeah, we're good, but you're gonna talk about this.
I am going to talk about that because that's probably the most confusing, but not too bad, right, Sue?
It's easy. I thought it was very easy.
Good. And
Oh, just a question though.
no, go ahead.
On that, once you get at the end and you put your thread through at the end,
Yep.
what did you do with that excess back there?
Well, what you're going to do is you're going to cut maybe and leave like a 1/2 inch.
Okay,
Okay.
and then
You're going to
fix that
couch it down, and then you can snip. Like I don't know if you can see it, but I brought it up. I
Oh, I see. You brought it down there.
Once I did the background,
Uh-huh.
I then finished it, I couched it down into the background.
Okay.
Okay, because you cannot see it from the front.
Mhm.
Okay, so the top part I couched into the letters above. I finished it, like I tied it into the letters, and the bottom
Okay.
part I did into the background.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Mhm.
And I think somebody last week said, hey, can I do the background and then lay thread on top? If you want to, I mean, it's your piece. I just wanted whatever I could do to make sure that we did not snag it on anything. And this way it gives dimension without risking it getting caught on anything.
So you did it.
I did it
first.
before the background. We're just going over it last. And I did it in order in the stitch guide, the way I did it and the way I would probably recommend that you guys do it. The only last thing before we go back and do that is the needle minder. Okay. So, and I think did you already glue yours is already in there.
I have not glued a thing.
Where's your needle minder?
Right here.
Okay. And you're just going to glue it onto the back.
I'm gonna glue anything because it just stays.
How did it stay?
There's a magnet there.
Oh, you put the magnet in
I
it.
put the magnet
Okay,
in.
that's what I meant. You just put
Wow.
it in it. You didn't glue it. You just put the thread over it.
Held it.
I held this thing here
Oh,
and
then it
stitched
stowed
over it.
Perfect.
That's what I did. These
Perfect.
In front
Yep,
to give it like a little
Mhm.
sack to sit in.
gotcha.
Then many layers like this and then like this.
Do you guys want to see that close up?
Yeah.
Do you want to see that
Mhm.
close up? Okay.
Yeah,
Do you mind taking that?
please.
Or
And you can take, do you want me to take the needle off also?
no? Oh yeah, that would be great. So I'm going to put this up to the camera. Can you see that?
Yes.
I didn't take a photo of when I have the little V stitches done first, because that really helps.
So
to
she
give it
made
bit-
like a little hammock kind of to
Yes.
hold it
Yes.
and then
Bottom to top.
from bottom to top.
That.
Put her needle minder, kind of sat it in it and then stitched right over it. So she didn't glue anything. Her needle minder is just sitting in there,
The back of the.
Oh, okay.
the back of the magnet.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
this is the way the back looks. Does that make sense?
Okay.
You can do that as well. Thank you.
But let me warn you that when you stitch around it does attract your needle. So
Yes, it
just-
does,
Oh,
right.
Just know, don't be surprised.
And then I need to cut that. So what I did is I stitched it. I stitched the Fryworks. I did a satin stitch vertically and then horizontally. And then I glued this week, the correct magnet onto the back and then stitched horizontally over it again. And
Oh,
I let it dry overnight after I glued it, and did bring some glue for you guys that are here if you choose to do it that way. And now it holds. That's how I did it. But it's either way. And I think once the finisher, I don't think it's going to come off either way.
It looks pretty secure to me,
Yeah, I'm sure it
but I
is.
made sure I had the correct side.
Yep. Yes. Good.
I
Good.
marked it.
Yep.
So I know.
Does that-
where
Oh,
I'm going up.
Yeah.
so you glued yours on the back, not the front.
I glued mine on the back
Okay.
And stitched over it.
and then stitched over it I did give it some padding, something to glue it to. I did stitch a couple stitches.
When you say Fryworks, what's that?
It's that satiny, this
Oh,
right
that's
here.
the stick, the
Yes.
thread. Okay.
And the neon rays, it's not Fryworks, it's actually neon rays.
Okay.
It's this, and
Oh,
it's
yeah,
the
it
same,
is.
it's the same thing you use back here.
Okay.
Yes, neon rays. Does that make sense?
Mhm. So you did not stitch the needle at all?
I did not, I stitched right over it.
You stitched right over it also.
Yeah, just
And I-
show a little bit there, but it'll get covered up.
And I think Cheryl said she was gonna stitch hers. It's totally up to you if you want it to show. When I was stitching, if it was white, you know,
Just continue.
I just
Yeah.
continued whatever. And I think that's just a personal choice. You make it however you choose. Make sense?
Yes.
All right. So let's go back and let's talk about the thread. So yours is going to be bright pink. I did bring, if you want the darker blue, I did bring you some darker blue if you should choose. I think light blue came with yours.
Do we just do one long strand?
One long strand, I put some couching thread in there. It's actually
Oh,
Splendor.
okay,
There's 3 or 4 strands in there. You're only going to need one.
okay.
Okay.
You want the light blue back?
No, you can keep that just in
Okay.
case.
Okay.
Just remember that the couching, you're only going to need 1 strand. I think there's 4 in there. So
Okay.
just make sure you peel.
One strand.
Yeah.
And when you say couching,
That's
what you,
that's this.
and that's how, what you.
That's what
tack
you're
it.
going to hold it down with.
Tack it down.
Okay. So what
Oh,
you're
so this isn't stitched at all, it's just laying there.
exactly, it just
I
lays
gotcha.
right on top.
I got
And I
you.
did this before the background.
Okay.
So once I finished the wording, I came and I did this after I did the needle first. So what you're going to do at the bottom of the O is you're going to make that hole in the canvas a little bit bigger. And you can do it with your needle. You can do it with whatever you have in the house that might be just yeah, something just a little bit bigger. And then the eye of your needle might do it. And what you do is you're going to slide. You're going to, yep, you're going to slide that from the front to the back of the canvas. It's not super hard. It's just, yeah, it's just a little bit bigger. You don't need a needle for this. You're never going to thread this through a needle. And you're going to send it to the back of the canvas
Mhm.
and you're going to leave a little tail, maybe a ½ inch. Okay. And then once this is going to be in the back, and then you just kind of bend this thread, you're going to follow the color on the canvas. Bend. It doesn't have to be exact because you're going to go back as you're actually couching it down. You're going to just follow that color. When you get to the needle, you're going to go over the bottom of the needle and through the eye of the needle. Does that make sense?
Just like.
Just
that
like you
thread.
had a piece of thread, you'll go over the bottom of the needle and down into the canvas. Does that make sense?
Okay.
And then you have to come back. up.
Then you're gonna
down.
come back
Ah,
up
on
at the
back
top.
side. Gotcha.
Yep.
You're a little swirly.
Yep.
And then come around like that.
And then it just crosses over each other.
Okay.
Does that make
Mhm.
sense?
Uh-huh.
And then it goes back down through the canvas to the back. And that's where I said, leave, another
Okay.
½ inch.
Yeah.
And I kind of left that ½ inch there until I was done the background.
Okay.
And then I kind of tied it off. But so once you've done that, then you take your thin thread that
in
came
there.
Yep. So it's either going to be pink or it's going to be blue. It's either going to be light blue or dark blue, whatever came with your package.
Mhm.
As I was explaining, they don't make this memory thread anymore. So I had to take whatever I could get. So some of you have light, some of you had dark. And every couple of canvas holes, you are going to couch that down and make it nice and tight.
Mhm.
And you should not be able to see, I don't think that you can really see the stitches. I tried to
Right.
match the thread as closely as I could get. And then you just keep following it, keep following it, keep following it, keep following it. And then, you can barely even see where I did it because then I went back over it with the background. and got it nice and tight.
Yeah.
So then when I went back at the end, I was able to actually then, with the background stitch, tie off the,
So cool.
Good one.
yeah.
I love that. I love that.
I think
thread.
that, yeah, that gives it dimension. Once again, it was what I could do to create dimension and some interest without, fancy stitches or, really fancy threads or beading. So this, this, and
Well,
I thought,
it looks like a piece of thread.
Yes.
It does.
Yeah.
I love that. And I love it that it stands out.
yep. So
Why don't they make it anymore?
I know, I don't know. They,
Who did make it?
this was, Michelle? Who used to make, DMC, memory thread, right? DMC memory thread. It's a shame.
Yeah, I mean, like everything else in this world.
I guess
Yeah.
it's had its place, but there are some, the train set around the corner has lots of memory thread in it, and it's so cool. Anything that's round or it's very cool. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt.
You're not interrupting, I'm just posting.
Okay.
It's never been so quiet in here.
I know.
After yesterday.
Because everybody came yesterday.
So this is what I hope for you guys.
Okay.
I'm excited.
Yay, I'm so glad.
It's really cool.
I don't want you to feel there's any time that has
there
to
won't
be
be.
done. I want you to enjoy it.
You had more people coming last.
They left yesterday.
The other thing I want you to do is call me, email me, text me, reach out with whatever questions you have. I will hold off on sending mine to the finisher, and so that if you need pictures or whatever you need,
Oh, yeah, I do need to do that for
let me know. And I can't wait until we start seeing these come back.
It
And
will be exciting.
it will be so exciting. I can't wait until we start seeing them around town.
Yes.
So that's my other thing. So you guys, this is my first class I've ever taught
I want you
constructive.
to do more.
Well, here's the thing. If you guys see a canvas you like, or there's a project that you want to do, see you. Thank you. Let me know if there's a class that you want taught or something that looks interesting, let me know. If you have constructive criticism about the stitch guide, or let me know,
think it's great.
I'm really,
Yeah. Plus,
It's been fun.
I hope you had fun doing it.
I had a blast. Remember also, YouTube, go Needlepoint Junction. Don't just sit there, number 1 or number 2, so you can find the recorded classes. They'll be up there.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Well, thank you.
Thank you guys. I
I'm
really
very
appreciate
thank you.
We'll
I
see you
love
soon.
yours. It makes me really want to
Been
get
fun.
off.
I think you'll be
Bye.
so fun.
Really.
Bye-bye.
In this stitch. It's just.
It's just,
very
it's easy.